Good evening, race fans. Welcome to the Monday night Sim500 Transervice Cup Series. Tonight we're here at Chicagoland Speedway. This is the 16th race of the season. Last week was over at Michigan International Race or Michigan International Speedway. I'm sorry. And so tonight we have 100 and what was it?
34,
134 laps here
good
tonight
34
at
laps.
Chicagoland Speedway. I am joined here tonight. I say we got Aaron Grosskopf in the booth, and up here with me is Sean Yoder. Sean, look forward to the race tonight. Thank you for joining me. Say, looking forward to this one.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Starting to get settled in a little bit with the Monday night crowd. Starting to learn who's who, what's what, and what we can expect. I know these guys have been driving and racing with each other for a long time, but I'm kind of new to the field, and it's taking me a little bit to settle in. But one thing I do know for sure is these guys put on a heck of a show, and these cars are pretty darn amazing to watch. So definitely looking forward to it. It's going to be a fun track.
Yeah, so it looks like I was talking to some of the drivers earlier. It sounds like about 48 or so laps on fuel is what they can make. And then, obviously, like we said, with this new package, with these cup cars are running, they can easily stay packed up here, especially on the restarts. It can get really crazy. So we'll see. We'll see what we are going to be looking for tonight. I say it's about 114 degrees right now for the track temp, so that's a little bit on the warm side. So I think that'll spread things out a little bit here. Right now, we've still got about a minute left in qualifying. Right now, it's showing Chad Cole as right now is on the pole position, followed by Anthony DeBarro. Still got a little bit of time before that cycles out, though. And yeah, so say it's gonna be a good race tonight. I say looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Do you have the points up for the series right now, or do you want me to go through the top 10?
Oh yes, actually, I do have it up. Say thank you for reminding me. So
Yeah,
yeah, so
man.
after those 15 races, right now the points leader right now is Justin Fuller. Trey Edson is in second, 6 points behind him. David Comstock in third, 9 behind Trey. Chad Cole in fourth. Daniel Fockingham is in fifth position, and then rounding out the top 10 is Nick Silver, Tommy Ryan, Anthony DeBarro, Chad Coleman, and Adam Gilliland. So saying Adam's one that he hasn't made all the races, but the ones he's made it to, he's been one of the ones to beat with nine top fives, 4 wins out of his 11 starts. So he's definitely gonna be one to watch. If he's, I believe he's in here tonight, so he will be one to watch.
Is right now, Chad? You did say Chad Coleman. I believe Coleman right now is sitting in 10th. Oh, Adam Gilliland is who you were. I'm sorry. I'm trying to do 43 things at the same time, and that's never good for me. Old brain doesn't work.
And I'm saying, looks like that wraps up qualifying here. I say so. You got Chad Cole on the pole, followed by Nicholas Cohan, Anthony DeBarro, Timothy Johnson, and David Comstock will be the top five here. I say as they grid though, I'm gonna start. We're gonna go through the grid, the top 10. So I say jumped the gun there a little bit. Apologize for that. So yeah, so say starting the front row will be the 82 of Chad Cole, followed by the 21 of Nicholas Cohan.
And I'm dying over here on the mic. I apologize. Give me just a second. Water just went down the wrong way.
No worries. I'll go and take over from here. Say, let me know when you're ready. Say, third place is Anthony DeBarro. Fourth is Timothy Johnson, and then fifth is David Comstock. Followed by sixth place will be Michael Keaton. Seventh will be Mitch Rollo. Eighth, Dwayne Vincent. Ninth is Steve Goschak, and rounding out the top 10 will be Chad Coleman. Saying before we get rolling here, let's see if we can grab the pole sitter here, Chad Cole, and have a chat with him. So once I find him and I can drag him up here, I'm sorry for the delay here. Chad Cole, this is Guile Brooks up in the booth. Do you copy, sir?
We got you.
Well, first off, congratulations on the pole. Say good lap there. Say, how did your lap feel there?
Pretty good. Didn't really have to do anything too special. Just hold my right foot down the floor and make it happen. I'm kind of surprised that lap stuck. I was off the bottom and 3 and 4 coming the checker just a little bit. So could have gone a little faster, but still, first pole of the year. Happy to get that. Qualifying has been a struggle for me this year, and I feel like track position's key, so that should really help tonight.
All right, well, so I don't want to take too much of your time. I know you guys are about to grid right here, so just want to tell you good luck, and we'll see if we can catch you in the interviews after the race.
All right, thank you.
So there you have it from your pole sitter, the number 82 Transervice Ford Mustang of Chad Cole, as the cars are rolling off the grid right now to do their pace lap before we go green. So yeah, any thoughts on your end, Sean, before we get this thing rolling?
No, I'm just glad I'm alive. I think I've stopped choking now. I'm not really sure how you drown on a sip of water, but I'm doing my best to do that right now. Yeah, Chad Cole sitting on the pole, Nicholas Cohen right beside him, Anthony DeBarro in third, Timothy Johnston running fourth right now. Comstock and Keaton right outside the top four. It's a stacked field. I mean, there's literally there are probably 25 to 28 cars that have a shot at any of these races, and it just kind of depends on how things go for them as the night unfolds. 134 laps here at Chicagoland. This place is probably going to be darn near wide open throttle the whole way around, and I'm hoping we can get these guys settled down really quickly, and we can have sort of a repeat of what we had last Monday, which was one of the best races I've seen in sim racing, period. For a long, long time. Last week was amazing, so I hope we've got more of the same in store.
Yeah, so you got most of the same drivers here. Say pace car is about to pull off here into the pits, and that'll put into the hands of Chad Cole. Wait for him to take the green. Say leaders have control and starts and restarts, and there's the green, and Chad Cole's not a big jump on the start here. Say maybe got just that car length or so ahead of Nicholas Cohan. So we'll see how he's able to get through 1 and 2. As said, with this package, they should be able to flat-foot it for the first lap or two. Say as the tires wear and the draft kind of picks up the speed, it'll definitely slow down a little bit. But as I say that, you got Anthony DeBarro looking to the top right off the bat, trying to work with his teammate there, the number 21 of Nick Cohan.
Yeah, it doesn't take DeBarro and Cohan too long to start making those moves. As I say that, though, DeBarro goes really high. Looks like he got a little bit out of shape there. And that's one thing that last week everybody was talking about. These cars, they wiggle on you, man. They get out from under you a little bit. You have to pedal them. You have to be really, really smooth with your control inputs. They don't like a whole lot of crazy sawing on the wheel, swatting at flies kind of things going on. They get really upset. So, early on, tires are really, really good right now. We'll see the good go away in about 5 or 6 laps, and hopefully everybody will settle in. Looking back through the field, though, it's just side by side, man. We've got the top 3 running nose to stern, basically, but it's after the top 3, everybody is side by side and can't figure out exactly where they want to be.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. It's like you get those first couple. Of course, as I say that, you got Anthony DeBarro looking up top now, outside of Chad Cole for the lead here. But yeah, it's just with the drag that these cars are pulling, and it pulls these other cars right with you, and just makes it so you can't really clear the guys until tires start wearing. And that's where you see some of these guys, like I know Chad Cole, David Comstock, they're really good about protecting their equipment, and that's where I think you'll start seeing them make these runs towards the later parts of these race if they can get that green flag. That green flag runs in. Let's say last night in the Kick-Ass Beef Jerky series, they did a really good job. Ran the first half of the race completely green. So if they can do that here, I think you'll see the field spread out.
Absolutely. The battle up front, though. I mean, we're what are we? 3 laps in?
Yeah, I think that's 3
or 4 laps in. I'm sorry, we're 5 laps in, and these guys are already racing like there's 5 laps to go up front. So DeBarro and Chad Cole can't decide who they really want to lead this thing, and we have 129 laps left. So it's going to be an interesting evening. As I say that, the line of cars behind them back to about 10th, 11th place, starting to get single file and settle in. But 1 and 2, man, they're down below the white line, driving it all the way down there to the grass. Chad Cole is in that 82 car, and he's doing everything he can to hang on to the lead right now, with Comstock running in third, and he's kind of following Chad Cole right now, seeing what he can do, I guess, down there below that white line, seeing whether his car's got the grip, not really making a run, but things are settling down a little bit. I like to see that at the beginning of a race, settle it down, get some green flag laps in, don't cause anything horrible, and let's get this rolling.
Yeah, so as you said, that DeBarro was able to get around Chad Cole there for the top spot that last time by. So DeBarro's going to lead this lap here, and so say as he does that, of course, now he goes straight back to the bottom. So I think with these cars, it's really a lot is about momentum, just trying to keep that RPM up, almost like the Xfinity cars are in real life, where it's just got to try to keep those revs up. So I think you see a little bit of that here as well. And of course, though, like I said, it's pretty easy to hold the draft though with these guys as the tires are still pretty new.
Yeah, absolutely. We're not far enough into a run yet to where we're really seeing a whole lot of scrub. Not really sure what's going on setup-wise for these guys right now.
Yeah, I did hear last night was pretty tight, but it sounds like this one actually is a bit of a freer setup, so I think that's going to bode well as well for these drivers. In general, usually the drivers like a looser setup, so I think they'll have a lot more fun behind the wheel with that. Let's say maybe we'll be able to catch one of the drivers during caution or something and see what they're thinking about the setup. But from earlier before the race in practice, talking to the drivers, sounds like it was a little looser than maybe would have expected. It sounds like iRacing setups have been typically a little bit on the tight side recently.
Yeah, they were. Everybody was saying that it was on the longer run. It got a little bit tighter last week, but still, I mean, there were nothing but smiles after the race last week from damn near every driver in the series. Everybody was just like, I can't believe how much fun these cars are to drive. See what they do with these things week in, week out, dealing with the changes in the package itself, dealing with the aero changes, dealing with the tire model, dealing with everything that you'd have to deal with if these things were real. And just got informed by Aaron, our producer, he's back here with a battle for 16th, EJ O'Rourke and Jason Barham.
Yeah, and Jose Gonzalez as well. Yeah, a good little battle there.
We talked about Jose a lot last week. Let's see what Jose's got this week. See if he's going to ride back there and just take it easy like he did last week. And then all of a sudden, with 10 laps to go, all of a sudden Jose's there. Let's see if we can do it again.
Yeah, so we're right on board here with Jose Gonzalez. See what he's doing there behind the wheel, if he's having to make too many adjustments in the car, changing lines and all that. So just because same thing, you really want to try to have that clean air on your nose, especially right now he's pretty tight up on EJ. So he's got to try to get the nose just that little bit underneath him, get that little bit of clean air to help his car rotate.
Yeah, and Jose's really good at what he does. He proved that last week. Spectacular drive. I'm going to go ahead and throw a shout out to whoever painted that car. I don't know whether Jose painted it or somebody else did, but I'm digging the retro, man. Tide look is cool.
Yeah, I've always been a fan of the Tide ride. I say, looks like DeBarro's got some company out front. Chad Cole just looking at underneath him in 3 and 4 couldn't get the nose under it. But then now you got David Comstock up top though, trying to take advantage of that momentum. Looks like he will get a really good run here off 4. He might be able to clear Chad for the second spot and then put his sights on Anthony DeBarro here for the lead.
I need to scroll back up front.
Yeah, so that's the hard part, is that you try to watch one thing and then they're all over the place. And say we actually have our own Mitch Rolla right now running in the 4th position. As there goes David looking on the low side of Anthony DeBarro and try to take the lead here entering 3.
Comstock looking good in that green, black, and white car, that number 42 Chevy. I'm not even a Camaro fan, and I like the look of that car, but I'm kind of partial to green and black for various reasons. Comstock looking good at the front. Anthony DeBarro slots in behind him. And we've got Chad Cole, and who is that back there in that orange car? That
is Nick Cohan.
Nick Cohen? Nick Cohen. Both Chad Cole and Nick looking low, but it looks like the good is kind of going away from these tires. They're starting to stay up above that white line now. Maybe can't get it down there on the apron like they could when the tires were brand new. As I say that, DeBarro gets a big wiggle. I don't know whether Chad got up behind him and took the air away, or whether he gave him a little bump there. But Chad Cole got underneath DeBarro and sort of pushed him up the track. Don't know whether it was air or whether it was with a bumper, but Chad Cole takes that second spot away from DeBarro.
Yeah, that just might be also just the tires. I mean, like I said, some of these guys are really good about kind of keeping those tires under them. So it's possible DeBarro might just be starting to get a little bit loose. Like I said, the drivers did mention that it loosened up on the longer run. But looks like David Comstock, though, he's kind of planning on trying to set sail here. He got about half a second lead right now on Chad Cole. So curious to see if he's able to hang on to that gap, or if Chad's going to be able to close it back down. But yeah, right now, David's done a really good job. And then Mitch Rillo's right there behind DeBarro as well, looking to see if he can get that third position here. I say they're pretty much the top, second to sixth are right on top of each other right now.
Comstock is very good about getting out front. Nice walk away. We'll see what he does with it. But like you said, right now, in 2 laps of being out in the lead, we almost got a half a second on Chad Cole running in that second place position. And Chad Cole is doing the same thing to Anthony DeBarro now. Chad Cole is actually walking away from that, 27 machine of DeBarro. And our real battle at the front of the field right now is 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th.
Yeah, and that last
car
time
looks
by,
like it's coming up.
Yeah, that was last time by, those front 2, Comstock and Cole, were about a tenth faster than the rest of the field, running about low 1s, whereas the rest of the field was in the 2s. And same thing this time, actually, running this time higher 1s, where everybody else was in like the 28s, 29s. So yeah, they've got about a tenth on the field at the moment, the top 2.
Impressive to see those guys be able to pull away like they're pulling away this early in the event. We're less than 20 in to a 134 lap race. Comstock and Cole are just right now. Comstock still holding about a half a second over Chad Cole, but Chad Cole in the last lap has put 7/10 on the 3rd place car of Anthony DeBarro. Nicholas Cohen right there with DeBarro. They're running side by side through the corners right now. Sort out 3rd and 4th, but Chad Cole and Comstock. If Cole can get up behind Comstock and they can lock bumpers, they're going to be hard to catch. I mean, I'm not saying we're going to go flag to flag green, but this is one of the cleanest races that we've seen. Oh, why am I saying that as a commentator? Why am I even saying that? I should shut up. As soon as I say that, bad things happen. So I'm not gonna finish that thought. We're just going to stick with check out the battle up front.
Yeah, Sam, I'm still watching the lap times, and Chad was a little quicker that time by. So I noticed David was kind of moving his line around, see if there's more grip on the middle, that middle groove, and didn't look like it worked out from that time. But I was saying that's what you're going to see from these drivers. Like, okay, we've done 20 laps here. Pretty much everybody's on the bottom. Let me try that middle groove, see if maybe there's a little bit more grip there. Just as things progress, but say obviously he lost about a tenth of it or so that last time by, so he was straight back to the bottom here. But yeah, for that 3rd position though, Nick Cohen's really trying to get around DeBarro, just hasn't been able to get it yet. And that's what you're going to see, I think, is that bottom line. If you can get underneath him, you may not be able to clear him on the exit, just because the middle top just has that momentum on the exit. And like we talked about too, with the longer run that we already started off with here, it's pretty spread out at the moment. Right now, the top 9 are single file. The side by side right now is the 12 of Scott Simley and the 51 of Justin Fuller for the 10th position. Is where the first side by side battle's going on at the moment.
Tires go away and they just kind of have to settle in.
Yeah, exactly. It's they can't abuse them too much now. It's like kind of get what you can while the tires are fresh, and then once you've got that, then you kind of got to hold station. And then you'll see some of the drivers too, where maybe somebody gets to your bumper, but if you can run that groove, as Fuller gets really loose off of 4 there. I think that's like we talked about right there, just with its tires. We're about halfway through a fuel run here, so yeah, I think starting to lose that weight in the back with the fuel burning off, and then just these tires starting to give up. So I think you're going to see these drivers have their hands full here.
Excuse me, I'm actually looking at Comstock from the front end right now. I can see Comstock starting to saw that wheel just a little bit, coming off the corner more than coming in. It looks like he's having a little trouble on corner exit. Car's getting a little loose on him, a little free. Wants to bring that back end around, and he's chasing it up to the wall on the outside of this track almost every single time he comes off of 2 and 4. Very interesting to watch from that point of view. And I say that, but he's still holding that 0.4 second advantage over Chad Cole running second. Chad Cole still seems to be pulling out on Cohen and DeBarro, though. They're back there running 3rd and 4th. Cole is pulling out a 10th or so a lap right now on 3rd and 4th place. And looks like Chad Cole is possibly going to start looking to the inside of David Comstock here about halfway through the first run, the first fuel run, I guess is what you should call it.
Yeah, these guys are getting loose. I see all their hands are really busy on the exit of these turns. Like you said, Cohan was able to get by DeBarro there, so put him up to the third position. But yeah, I'm watching the hands of these drivers on the exit of the turns. And say the ones that have the white gloves, you really can see them working.
Yeah, it's. I really need to get in. I want to. Have you run any laps with these cars yet, Gail? I
Not
haven't. I haven't actually jumped in and ran any laps with them. I need to jump into a practice session one evening.
Yeah, I have not run with these guys here recently. I've been running the Cup car, but yeah, not too much recently though. But yeah, like you said though, Chad is starting to definitely close the gap. He's been about a tenth or so faster than David Comstock these last few laps, and I say he's pretty much at his bumper now. And I say, but man, yeah, they're almost like a four-wheel slide off of four there. It looks like four is really tricky to get the power down.
Yeah, two is not much better, man. And as I say that, Chad Cole dives to the bottom again. Comstock running that really high line, just keeping the momentum, letting the car be free, and not abusing those tires this late in the run. I mean, we're coming up on 30 laps into this 134 lap event here tonight. I think David Comstock is doing the right thing. And as soon as I say that, typically, Chad Cole would turn me into a liar and dive low. But now Comstock taking that evasive action, not evasive, but I guess he's defending the position and going all the way down there to the grass again. And now Chad Cole right up beside Comstock they're already at it, man. We're not even halfway through, and they're treating it like we're towards the end of the race. And there goes Chad Cole.
Yeah, so it looked like David's like, okay, you go ahead right now. I'm going to follow you and see what you're doing differently than me.
Yeah, go ahead and tear those tires up even more.
Yeah, I was saying what I've noticed too is once Nick Cohen got that clean air, he's actually been one of the faster cars these last few laps. Pretty much right on par with Chad, besides this last time by though. Yeah, he's about a tenth faster or so than David, and about half a tenth off of faster than Chad. So he's going to try to start closing this gap as well. So like you said, at this point, it's still really anybody's race. These guys make it look easy.
Yeah, they really do. I'm just kind of scrolling back through the field right now. Jumped in with Mitch Rollo. Got Timothy Johnston right behind him, but nothing. Trying to run down DeBarro. He's about 4/10 behind DeBarro right now. Everybody seems to have settled down. Chicagoland, really smooth track. Lots of racing room out there. And these guys are being really, really, really good setup.
Yeah, no, these guys are doing a really good job. Like I said, actually, now I was going to say Chad was starting to put some gap on David, but as I said that, David, I think is going to gain probably about a tenth or two on Chad right there. Yeah, sure enough, about half a tenth or so. He's still right on his bumper. So Chad has not been able to kind of set sail with the clean air and the lead. So he's still going to have to work for it here. Again, about 16, 18 laps away from pit stops at this point. It'll be interesting to see if there is a strategy, if people try to break it up a little bit to short pit, gain some track position that way. Obviously, the big risk there is bringing out a yellow at an inopportune time. So I'd say right now the current top 10, though, you've got Chad Cole leading, David Comstock is in second, Nick Cohen third, DeBarro in fourth. Tim Johnson actually is working right now on Mitch Rollo for the fifth position. And then you have Steve Goschuk, Michael Keaton, Dwayne Vincent, and then you have Scott Simley rounding out the top 10 at the moment here.
Yeah, Michael Keaton running back there in the 8th place. I'm actually looking at Michael right now in that number 7 Camry. And right as you said his name, he brushed the outside wall with that right front and wrinkled it a little bit. It's torn up a little bit right now. He got into it pretty good. So Michael Keaton being chased by Dwayne Vincent right now. Scott Simley back there behind him. That's a nice little 5-car pack that we have battling for 8th through 12th. And right behind them, things get a little chaotic. I mean, we've got folks running high, running low. No one's really decided on this is my line. I'm going to stick there. And then as I'm saying all this, Justin Fuller decides to look really, really low. Justin right now running in the 12th spot. He's sort of in that 5-car pack I was talking about that starts with Michael Keaton. And right now, Dwayne Vincent looking low under Keaton. Keaton gets in the wall, bounces off of Dwayne Vincent, and Vincent gets the position. No harm, no foul, looks like. Vincent's car is in perfectly good shape. And Michael Keaton, again, bounces off the wall and wrinkles that right front up a little bit more.
Yeah, so it's just one of those, you trying to give the guy underneath you, make sure you have giving him enough room, and yeah, just unfortunately, yeah, got a bad angle entering one, caught the wall there, so now it looks like he's got a little bit of corner, like not nose damage, but yeah, fender damage on the right front and the left front, so that's definitely not going to help his car rotate right now. So he might be one to think about either trying to stretch it out as far as he possibly can, fuel and bank on the yellow, or maybe just try to short pit and regain some of this track position. Looks like right now he's just kind of going to try to find a gap here and settle back into it.
Yeah, he's fading back. Fading back. Don't know whether the car's hurt or, like you said, he's just trying to find some clean air and regroup a little bit, because he really did. He came down, bounced off the wall, bounced into Vincent, tore up that pretty Tabasco paint job, and he's trying to tear up some Chevrolets here tonight, man. It was kind of cool to watch. What I'm really impressed with more than anything is the fact that they can actually throw fenders like that and ongoing. I think this new package, I don't know what it is about the damage model. It just seems like the cars take a lot more pounding than they do. And they're a lot easier to maintain control. Before this new package, I think that would have caused a pretty big wreck. But now we're seeing them just no harm, no foul, keep on digging.
Yeah, so yeah, I think definitely these seems like they run a little better with each other. And then I think just again, like you talk about, these drivers they're on top of things, let's say. So I'm sure Dwayne felt that contact, was able to kind of correct right away. Same thing for Michael Keaton there. I say I'm still looking at lap times, and say Nick Cohen's still about 2.5, 3 seconds back of the leaders. But however, he's running right on pace with them. And you see him really moving around now. Chad's still pretty dedicated to running the bottom, but you saw right there David Comstock was running the middle top side. Cohen was on the bottom, and DeBarro was running up top as well. So they're all moving around trying to find where's the best place to be. Noticing a little bit of cloud cover in 3 and 4. That's going to help these guys out a little bit too. That'll make it drive that little bit better. Say one, get that track temp down just that little bit for them.
I'm just going back to the...
No, I think, yeah, unfortunately, I think had the mic cut out there on Sean here. Say if you need to get it fixed, no worries there. Do want to take we're going to hang out here and make sure that we get through the pit stops. Let's say afterwards we might see about taking a break, but I want to make sure we get you guys all the way through the pit stops so you can see how things shake out after that. But yeah, right now, do want to mention, and I apologize that I don't have it perfectly accurate, but the triple threat where we've got streaming on Facebook, YouTube, as well as Twitch, I believe it is. And if not, please correct me, Aaron. So feel free to check us out on all of those, and always beneficial as well as if you can give us a subscription or follow or like. They'll always help things out for us as well. So just wanted to mention that as well. We had a little bit of a break here, and I think Sean might have his mic working a little better. Double check with you here.
I hope it's working better. I don't know why it changes. Broadcast is it better?
Yeah, it's cutting out still a little bit here and there. It looks like, I'm moving around here on the track as well. Looking at number 9 of Bobby Wetzel, I believe he has short pitted, like we mentioned. And yeah, he has, and saying he's running about, this last time by, he was a full second a lap faster than the leaders. He is in the 37th position. He just went by Steve Goschuk, who's running in 7th at the moment. So yeah, next up on his list is going to be Mitch Rollo in 6th position. And again, he's 2 laps down right now, but you just see the pace he has. I thought something happened to Steve, just how fast. Yeah, so that might, with the damage on there's a little bit of right front damage on the 9, but look at it, he just blows right by the 96 there. So that really tells you right there what these tires can do. Again, running about a full second faster than the leaders here. So this is one of those risk versus reward type situations here where it's like, okay, if he can get the green flag, stops the cycle, and then maybe a timely caution after about 10, 15 laps where they all come back in, he's going to gain a ton of track position. So that's kind of where this strategy comes into play. Whereas I'm sure most of this leading pack here is going to be a little more tentative about making those kind of risks here. They kind of wait till everybody else makes the move before they blink. Up front, though, Chad has actually put on a really big gap here. He's got about 3/4 of a second lead. I think at this point he's almost got it extended out to a full second here that last time by. He was a full second or full tenth of a second, I'm sorry, faster than David Comstock and a half a second faster than Nick Cohan. And Cohan is all over the back of Comstock now, so he's made a really big charge here these last few laps before the green flag pit stop. I'm saying we got looking. Oh, I'll say I was watching the 9 of Wetzel, looking at possibly trying to get in the middle of David Comstock and Nick Cohen there for that second position battle. Thought better of it, rolled out of it, and now he's going to try to roll around the top side and use that momentum to get on by. Say, Nick just gives him enough room to have that spot, but yeah. These guys are, at this point, I think these lead cars are just kind of on pins and needles right now, too. These things are running really loose on them. There's no tire grip at this point. So as I say that, there goes Bobby Wetzel. Now next car on his list to get by is Chad Cole. That way he can get down back to 1 lap down instead of the 2 down that he currently is. And I believe we've got a couple cars that are starting to make some green flag pit stops. The 93 of leader Chad Cole and David Comstock's going to try to enter the pits right here. David's getting in really hot. Hopefully he'll be able to get that down to speed in time. I'll say got a lot of leaders right now. You got the 82, the 42, the 96 are all in. And saying you're not going to see these other leaders aren't going to wait too long to follow suit as well. So that's going to give the lead here to Nick Cohen. So he'll lead that lap, and then I'm guessing you'll see him in next time by. Oh, Chad overshoots his pit stall just a little bit. That's going to hurt his pits there. I say it's going to probably cost him a couple spots there, just because, again, you got to hit your marks perfectly against these guys here. So taking a look at the pit exit here and see. Yeah, so David Comstock is able to jump him through the pits. I'll say he's able to come out right behind him and in front of Mitch Rollo. However, Nick Cohen is still on track. He's running some good laps here. Say he's on lap 47 right now of the 134. So he might try to stretch it those extra couple of laps and then see if maybe can trap some people lap down in case someone makes a mistake and gets an untimely caution. You definitely see that strategy happen a lot here. So right now you've got about the top 15 have yet to pit, with Nick Cohan, his teammate Anthony DeBarro, and then Tim Johnson are the top 3 at the moment, and they're all within about a second and a half, actually within a second of each other right now. So I'm waiting to see how things are cycling for the groups that have pitted. Say David Comstock is the first of those who pitted for track position. Say Chad Cole's still right behind him, followed by Mitch Rollo. So they're right now running in the 19th position. Obviously, that's going to change quickly as other drivers make their pit stops here. But right now, the leaders are still staying out, so they're stretching this out a little bit longer. So they have maybe a different plan than these leaders did, where they pitted out around that lap 45 or so mark. Taking a look here to see if there's anything else. Thought I saw some smoke there. It may have just been a connection, though. So you always get nervous when you see the smoke coming off some cars. And saying, here comes Nick Cohen. He's entering the pits here, coming to lap 50. So he's in there really hot. Looks like he's going to be able to get it down to speed. Drivers did mention this was a tough track to get down to pit speed on in time before and not speed for it. So we'll have to double check, see if they hit their pit stall as well here. So I'm going to jump back to the 21 car. Looks like he hit his stall cleanly, as did DeBarro and Tim Johnson. So all 3 of those guys are in the pits right together. If their pit stops go well, they'll probably, all 3 of them are the 2 are teammates. I'm not sure. So all 3 teammates. Nick gets a really good pit stop. He's actually able to get a bit of a gap there, and Tim Johnson's going to be able to jump around DeBarro there as well. However, you'll notice here's the thing though, Nick Cohen was maybe about a second or so behind Chad, but waiting that long like he did to make his pit stop, he's going to be several seconds behind. So he's probably going to need a long green run to try to catch that gap back up. So waiting to see where things are cycling. Right now I'm showing Daniel Fockingham is currently leading. He's still running on fuel. Daniel Fockingham, Chad Coleman, Michael Keaton, Doug Roth, Shane Ewing, and Randy Yoakum. As I say that, Fockingham is hitting the pits right now, as is Chad Coleman. So Daniel hit his pits nice and clean. And so that's going to cycle the lead to Michael Keaton. So I'm going to try to cycle through to find him here on my screen. There he is. So he's entering turn 3 right now. So that leaves him, Doug Roth, and Shane Ewing. And these guys are stretching at about 7 to 10 laps longer than some of these leaders who pitted early on. So I don't think they'll be able to one-stop it because that's still a long ways to go to get to lap 134, as they're currently on lap 53 at the moment. However, again, I mean, you get a timely caution and you could trap most of this field a lap down, so that's always a potential. He's just got to be careful because you see right now, you got the cars coming behind him with a huge head of steam. Let's say there goes the 09 and the 22 going right by him here. Again, brand new tires versus old tires. At this point, he's just trying to run his own pace and just brushes the wall just barely on the exit of 4, but say shouldn't harm the car too much at that point still. So yeah, so you got the top 3 still staying out, and behind him is going to be David Comstock, Chad Cole, Mitch Rollo, and Adam Gilliland are following up with those guys after they made their pit stops. So yeah, just got 3 more to go. So say while things are going like this, I think this will be a good time to take a break. You won't miss anything because we will be on corner to corner, and then we'll be back with you very shortly.
All right, Watson, let's analyze the chemicals in this cigarette smoke. Cadmium?
Check.
Formaldehyde?
Check.
Arsenic?
Sir, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Yeah. Isn't arsenic rat poison?
Oh, what was I thinking, sir? It's not like we're gonna smoke them.
Neither will the rats.
Tobacco is no joke. Cigarette smoke has over 7,000 chemicals. Learn more at thefactsnow.com.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back to the Transervice Cup Series here at Chicagoland Speedway. I say we are on lap 59 of the 134. Pit stops have cycled. Say David Comstock now is back out in the lead. I say able to get the lead there through the pit stops, where Chad Cole overshot his pit stall just that little bit. So right now you got the top 3 though are all nose to tail, and then tagging on right behind them is Chris Jabot, just trying to stay right with him. That way he can get a timely caution, get his lap back. As I say that, Mitch Rollo now takes over the second position from his teammate Chad Cole, and then gets a little loose on 4. And I'm saying I'm glad that I can now take some extra breaths because I say we've got our man back in the booth with his mic issues fixed. So I say hopefully you're able to keep an eye on all the stuff that was going on while you're troubleshooting.
I hope I'm back. I hope everything's good.
Yeah, so far I say, I mean, still has a little bit of that cut, but I say it was nowhere near like it was earlier. So one thing I definitely want to mention is that Cohan, DeBarro, and Tim Johnston, they all stayed out about 4 or 5 laps longer than David Comstock, Mitch Rollo, and Chad Cole, and that really set them back about, I would say, 4 to 5 seconds, somewhere in that range. However, they've been really on a tear. They've been running laps about 3/10, 4/10 of a second faster than the lead pack right now due to those fresher tires. So it's very possible that just if they can go full green run here all the way to the next set of pit stops, they might be right back with them. So, taking a look here. Yep, there's Adam Gillen in the 5th position. He actually pitted even earlier than those other leaders. So that's where that short pitting strategy was.
We'll see if it pays off. I mean, these long runs, hard to say. I don't know enough about the car, unfortunately, to know when that tire really, how bad does the tire?
Yeah, say from what I've heard from the drivers, like you got, I don't know how many laps it is, but there is kind of a, where at one point you just kind of, the fall off just kind of hits its limit, and that's from then on, that's kind of just kind of the lap times you run. So, but one thing to note though for Adam Gilliland is he started 29th, and so he just got past there. Now he's in the 6th position, but that's a lot of spots gained for being green flag runs the whole time by. So. I say, it sounded like Chad Cole got really loose off of 2 there. So I was taking a look at some of the other cars on there. So, like I said, even though they're only 15, 18 laps on a run here, I say these things are already a handful. But yeah, I'm looking at the lap times though. Nick Cohan is really cutting the gaps on these guys. Though he was about 3 to 4 tenths of a second again that last time by quicker. This time 2 tenths of a lap quicker. So he's only 2 seconds right now, roughly off the lead. So I think, give it maybe about 10 laps or so, and you'll see him right back up there with them. So I think it could be a long run. I think it's going to be a really good strategy for those guys.
It definitely could, and I'm hoping that I have the clipping and the cutting out fixed now. We'll see what goes on. David Comstock running up front right now. What did you just say there, Aaron? I can hear my producer in my ear. I hope it's okay.
Well, I'll say we'll make the most of that we can. And then I'll say actually we got Mitch Rillo going up top, entering 3, looking for the lead here on David Comstock. I'll say, so it looks like we might have a new challenger for the lead here coming off of turn 4. Oh, Mitch gets a little loose, doesn't quite touch the wall, got really close to it though, and that's going to give him a really nice exit though off of 4. He's going to stay to the right rear quarter panel of the 42 car entering turn 1 here. So we'll see if Mitch is able to stay in that, kind of keep that spotter telling David that there's a car high, and he is. And there he goes. So say Mitch is going to take that momentum and take the lead here in the number 96 Sim Speed Shop Ford Mustang. So that's going to be a new leader there. And saying that's David Comstock to 2nd place. Chad Cole still running in 3rd. And then right behind them, you've got the lap cars of Doug Roth and Shane Ewing. They pitted a lot later than the rest of the lead pack. I say they've only got about 10 laps on their tires, whereas everybody else is in the 20s. So that's where they lost some of this track position, but they're getting it back right now, just from that freshness of the tires that they've got. One thing I do have to make mention of is I talked to him before the race. Shane Ewing mentions that his mom does watch him every race, so definitely want to give a shout out to her. And I hope she's having a good evening tonight, and see maybe she can get her son a little bit of extra TV time here before the end of this race. So, say right now he is running in the 32nd position, but working on getting his lap back right now. And looking at the interval here, yeah, Nick Cohan is on a tear. He's only about 1.5 seconds now off the lead. Again, he's running about a tenth or so faster than the leaders, and I think with these lap cars working on getting their laps back, it's going to kind of slow them down that little bit extra, as well as there's a car on the grass here in 3 and 4. It's the 09 of Nigel Standish in the 30th position. He's able to get it back going. No caution or anything like that, but that was definitely a bit of a moment there for the 09 car. So take a look at the replay here. It looks like he just really got loose off of turn 4, or off of turn 2, I'm sorry, and just pretty much had to chase it all the way down the backstretch. And I was able to get it gathered back up into entering turn 3. So a really good job by him hanging on to that, not bringing out a yellow there, which some will want, some are very happy that it's staying green right now. So say going back to the lead here, say you got Mitch Rillo still up front. Say he's moved now to the top side with David Comstock kind of following the same line there. Chad Cole still seems to be pretty committed to the bottom, but they're all going to have a pretty bright orange car in their mirrors here shortly with that 21 of Nick Cohan. So looking at the lap times here, that last time by, yeah, Mitch Rolo was the quickest car of that lead group there by about a tenth of a second. So, but it's yeah. Right now they're all within like a tenth or a hundredth of a second of each other. Say Anthony DeBarro is actually not too far back from Nick Cohan, and then Timothy Johnston as well is not too far as well from them. And again, Adam Gilland right now running in the 7th position, kind of nice, calm place by himself at the moment. So we'll see if he does another short pit strategy here to gain a little bit more track position as we approach the second round of green flag pit stops. Let's say he's got just about 30 laps on his tire, so he can still go at least another 10, 15 laps, maybe even 20 if he wants to stretch it a little bit more. But that's a really good run, like I mentioned, from him, starting 29th, with no helps of caution, all the way up to the 7th position.
All right, I'm hoping I've got this sorted. I got the production staff in here, got a new microphone. Hopefully things are working out now. I'm watching everything go on while you're talking, and Gael doing a heck of a job solo tonight. I apologize for that. But as I'm talking, I'm watching Chad Cole go from the wall all the way down to the white line, trying to figure out where he needs to be on the track to keep that momentum up and run Comstock and Mitch Rolo down. It's interesting to watch this, and I've seen it all the way through the field. We've got cars.
Oh, he's loose off of 4 there.
Out. Chad Cole gets sideways coming off that time.
Yeah, he got really loose off of 4 there. But yeah, I say he still seems really committed to the bottom there. Whereas, wow, David Comstock was right up against the wall. I don't think he could fit a sheet of paper between his car and the wall there off of in 1 and 2 there. But yeah, it looks like these drivers right now are really moving around looking for some grip. I did notice the track temperature actually dropped a fair bit during that run. It was down into the 90s, and now it's climb back up to 107 degrees. So it's going to be a little bit more of a slip and slide for the drivers now. And like I said, they're kind of actually being able to separate themselves from Chad Cole a little bit in 3rd. But again, Nick Cohen's right there, kind of within striking distance, just about a second off of the lead at this point. So really good recovery for him after making that later pit stop. I was saying losing some of that track position with the fresh tires.
Yeah, he made the time up with 0.3, 0.4 seconds a lap quicker on those brand new tires than the rest of the field was on those 4 or 5 lap old tires, and he made the difference up. Don't know whether he gained anything from doing it, but he definitely he came back to where he was more than anything.
Yeah, I mean, I like the strategy because it just gives you that little bit fresher tire where, I mean, again, with these guys being as talented as they are, it's hard to pass. So any advantage you can get is worth trying. So now that once he's able to get to the bumper of Chad Cole again, we'll see if he's able to do anything with it with the slightly fresher tires, or at this point have the equalized or not, because he definitely isn't taking the 3 to 4 tenth chunks out like he was at the beginning of the run. But I mean, still having a tenth or two a second a lap faster still should be enough to make something happen here.
Should be. And Chad Cole dives to the bottom again. We've got Comstock and Rolo out on the wall. Comstock even more so out on the wall. He is literally right side of the car on the safer barrier almost all the way around the corner, and maintains a 2nd place. Now he's looking high. Mitch Rolo goes low. Comstock staying up there to the top. See if Chad Cole gets a little bit of that draft and pulls him up to 2nd, possibly. Nope, not going to make it stick. Comstock chops the nose off, and
what a
Comstock
run.
making a run.
That was an amazing run. He got off of 4. Right on board with Chad Cole. He's got a really nice view of this lead battle there as David's able to clear Mitch Rolo off of turn 2. It looks like he's going to kind of protect the bottom at this point. Looks like he now wants to run the low side, and he's going to try and make Mitch Rolo work the top if he wants to try to get back by him here.
Explain to me how that looked like a
he's loose
Bobby
too.
And the Magic Man move. That was a slingshot engage. I'm not even sure how that worked, but it worked.
He got a really good run off of 4. I was actually kind of surprised to see him kind of commit to the bottom once he got that pass done. I figured he would try to stay up top and keep that momentum. As I say that, he's trying to hold off Mitch Rolo, but now Mitch is getting that run off of turn 2. And of course, as they do that, Chad is right back with them, and again, right behind him, here comes those 2 teammates of Anthony DeBarro and Nick Cohan right back into this fight. So you got a 5-car battle for the lead here coming to lap 80.
Yeah, we're well past the halfway point now. David Comstock running the bottom, running below that white line. Mitch Rolo running all the way out by the wall. Chad Cole looks like he's trying to choose David Comstock as more of a running partner, but I don't think Chad can really decide which direction he needs to go. And I'm watching Rolo every time they come off a corner. Rolo probably carrying 2, 3, maybe 4 more mile an hour at the top of the track than Comstock is on the bottom. And as soon as they come off the corner, Rolo just pulls away.
Yeah, I'll say they're putting on a really good show right there. I'd say right there, David Comstock had the lead over Mitch Rolo by 0.05 of a second that time by. I was saying, here comes, like I mentioned earlier, here comes Nick Cohen. He got a good run off too. I think he's going to make a run here, look on the inside of the 82 of Chad Cole here and try to take that third position away.
Yeah, what happened to Chad there? He was right up on Comstock's bumper, and then all of a sudden he just fell back. I don't know whether he got loose, not sure what happened there, but Cohen takes advantage of it, picks up the third spot. DeBarro right on Chad Cole's bumper now. And we've got a really good fight here, first through fifth. And as I say that, Mitch Rolo looks like he just brushed the wall.
Yeah, I think it's just these guys are going for it. And I think just as fast as everybody is right now, I say David gets really loose off two, hangs on to it, but he's going to kind of fall back there on second position. But yeah, I think it's just up. As I say, that caution just came out. So it looks like before anybody made any green flag pit stops, however. Oh, saw who was that?
Chad Coleman?
Chad Coleman is involved, as well as EJ O'Rourke in the 41. Looks like this is a battle for the 18th and 19th position, also with Jose Gonzalez in there as well.
I'm looking at Chad Coleman's car right now. That number 20 Chevrolet it's seen better days. The front end is pretty torn up. Let's go back and see if we can see how that happened.
Yeah, let's take a look at the replay here. Yeah, so I'm taking a look at it now, and yeah, it looks like unfortunately EJ, kind of we saw it happen earlier too, or just EJ, this time EJ caught the wall on entry, which just shot him down into Chad Coleman, who's just wrong place, wrong time, and same thing for Jose Gonzalez, just in a bad spot. Just, yeah, bad luck for those guys. Let's say nothing intentional or anything like that, just kind of bounced off the wall. However, say these leaders are going to be very happy about this because they had a handful in their hands, so they're going to be come down here and getting 4 tires and fill it up with fuel.
Yeah, they were 5 or 6 laps from another round of green flag pit stops there. That's our first caution of the night?
Yes, it is. I say just like last night. I say they went over halfway on the fuel run before the first caution came out. Hopefully, it doesn't kind of continue on like that. They did a really good job there on this one. Say taking a look at the pit stops, Mitch Rolo hits his marks very nicely. Say Chad Cole looks like he got in his as well. So I don't think anybody missed their pit stall too badly. So now it's just gonna be up to the pit crew to see who can get them out first.
Everybody taking 4 full load of fuel. And it's going to be pretty close. I think we're within the pit window to where they could actually take it to the end from here.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think too. Is if they can make it all the way now on fuel, I think you're right. I think if they could go 40, it'll be about 45 lap run, so they should be all right. So yeah, so Mitch Rolo is going to get out with the lead here, and it was a really tight battle for that second position exiting the pits. It looks like Nick Cohen may have got it. I'm trying to take a look here at the pit exit line. It looks like he had just a nose on David Comstock, and then about another maybe a tire width from Chad Cole for that third spot. So yeah, that was a tight battle off the pits. So that'll put Mitch Rolo in the lead, Nick Cohen in second, David Comstock third, and Chad Cole in fourth, followed by Tim Johnston, Adam Gilland, who's now going to be on equal tires and a lot of track position. So I think he's going to be one you have to watch out for. Anthony DeBarro and Justin Fuller as well. He started 21st, and now he's up to the 7th position. So yeah, there's going to be a new cast of characters, I think, kind of trying to join the party in this one.
We've seen that a lot in this Monday Night League. It seems like we go through half or more of a race talking about half the field, and then with 30, 40 to go, all of a sudden people just start appearing that we haven't talked about all night. And it tends to be different folks every week that just pop up in the top 10 towards the end of the race. It's pretty impressive. I like that about this series. And as I say that, I'm looking at the leaderboard right now. Adam Gilliland is being shown in 6th right now. I'm not sure where he's going to he's being shown in 6th. He started 29th. That's a heck of a jump. Justin Fuller started 21st, being scored in 8th. Scott Simley started 13th, up to 9th. And then Daniel Falkingham started 31st. He's running 10th right now. Don't know where they're going to finish, but I mean, it's just to go from 31st to 10th. That's insane. It's just a really good run.
Yes. Yeah, say no pit strategy or anything like that. I say let's try to see. I say we're gonna try to pull up our own Mitcherolo. See, I say leading this race under yellow. Try not to distract him too much, obviously, before we get going to green. But see what he's thinking about the racing so far. So let's give us a minute so we can get him pulled up. Say I think we've got here. Say we've got the one to go. So I'll be real quick. So Mitcherolo, say got the lead there, held onto it on the pit stops. How's the race going for you?
Race is going awesome, man. This is an absolute blast out here. Cars are sliding around lots, so ton of fun. It was really good racing Comstock there. You know he's always going to race you clean back, so really good when you can do that, race a guy hard and not worry about getting wrecked.
All right, well, I'll say I just want to get a quick word from you. So I saw we got the one to go, so I'll let you get back in focus, and good luck in the remaining part of this race.
Thanks, guys. Enjoy the show up there.
All right, so that's
Our producer.
he's having fun.
Is there any way we can control our producer a little bit?
I don't think we can ever control our producer.
Aaron
Plus-
is uncontrollable.
Plus, we would never get the beautiful camera shots that he's able to give us. So, gotta thank you again for that, Aaron.
We're going to put Aaron in the pace car with Doug. See if Doug can scare him to death. Doug's pretty consistent, though. You got to give Doug a hand. I mean, the dude he's like a metronome out there.
Yeah, he holds the speed really well, and he does that really sharp turn left as he does right there as leads the field to green. And there goes Mitcherolo. Really nice start there. I say it looks like Cohen spun his tires a little bit, and I'm saying his teammate there right behind him, Chad Cole, now is able to move up into the second position. So there's a little bit of strategy there to try to get a teammate buffer there between himself and the 21 of Nick Cohan. So you'll see that with the Cup guys in the plate races, but I mean even now with this new package, you kind of got to do it here at these other intermediate tracks too. As I say that though, Nick Cohan gets a really good run off of 2s, gets the bottom of Chad in 3. He's going to go for the lead here off of turn 4.
I think he's going to get it. He got a heck of a run, and the only thing that's going to save Rollo is he's got that high line, he's got some momentum, but on these fresh tires, the low line tends to work a little bit better. As I say that, Justin Fuller is the middle car in a 3-wide sandwich. Sandwich? I think sandwich. I think we'll go with sandwich. Yeah, Justin Fuller running from about 7th or 8th. He's up in the top 5 now. And it looks like we're getting ready to get pretty racy. These guys are seeing we're getting towards the end of this thing. We're well past halfway. They're on fresh tires. They're full of fuel. They're good to go to the end. And it's time to mix it up.
Yeah, they are getting racy as they get it tight there between the 96 and 21. I'll say the one that we mentioned earlier, and he's showing a reason for it, the 81 of Adam Gilland. He restarted, I believe, in the 6th position. He's working himself right now into the 2nd position if he can clear Mitcherolo. As he gets loose, touch the apron a little bit. He's going to have to try to gather that back up right now off of 4. And that's exactly what Nick Cohen wants to see here. Now maybe he can try to put a little bit of gap between these guys and just kind of be able to take a breath right now, because let's say it's pretty tense right now from 2nd on back.
Yeah, we have 33 laps left in this race, and when we came back from that last caution, I was talking about the last half of a race, the last third of a race with Sim500 in these Monday night. Actually, with all the Sim500 races, we start talking about names that we haven't mentioned all night. Adam Gilliland is one of them. He is up from 29th place starting position to running 2nd right now behind Nick Cohen and putting on a heck of a show. It's really cool to watch these guys run back and forth through the field. It looks like we're settling down a little bit now. Hopefully we'll get a little bit of a green flag run with about 30 laps to go, 32, 33 to go, somewhere in that area. So settle in and let's take this thing to the end.
Yeah, so that's the thing is, as hard as these guys are driving right now, if it does go green to the end, these tires are going to be pretty much non-existent, because you can tell they're giving it everything they've got right now. So we're going to see some really loose race cars here towards the end of this run if it keeps up like they are. I'm going to say Mitchell is able to still hang on to that 3rd position. Justin Fuller now has moved up to the 4th position, and right behind him is David Comstock. So say Fuller's another one of those guys like we talked about. He was making good gains, but just starting towards the back, it took him a long time to get that track position. But now with this caution bringing everybody back together, he's making the most of it.
Yep, it's really fun watching these guys. I'm looking at Nick Cohen from the front bumper and then looking back on the field right now, and it's just a snake that can't decide which direction it wants to go. The top 4 cars, maybe even the top 5 cars, are basically bumper to bumper right now. It looks like they're sort of settling in, and behind them we have 2 wide, and then we have a single car, 2 wide, 3 wide. Just can't decide. So it doesn't matter where you're at on the track here at Chicagoland with the Sim500 League. You're racing someone at all times, and that just makes it fun.
Yeah, I'm saying, as you said, that one more spot there for Justin Fuller put him up now to the 3rd position, able to sneak by Mitchell. And as I say that, Adam Gillen's looking on the inside turn 3. He's going to try to take the lead here coming into 3 and 4.
Looks like Adam Gilliland is getting ready to take that first place position away from Cohen. Justin Fuller up to 3rd, kind of like the logo on the front of that car. Maybe had
No
a little
bias
to do with the design of that.
Yeah, no, I'd say, and here's the momentum we were talking about. So I'd say, Adam Gillen, well, I was going to say he might get the help of his teammate there, Justin Fuller, but as I say that, Fuller goes to the top side actually and goes behind Nick Cohan. So we'll see what happens here, I'd say, because the draft obviously plays a big role. So Justin can definitely influence who gets that little bit of an extra push there to try to get this lead. But right now, Fuller's kind of just playing both lanes at the moment, trying to find what's really, it seems like, what's best for him at this point. And creeping into the picture, no shock there, is David Comstock as well, running right underneath Mitch Rollo. Doesn't quite able to clear him there off of turn 2. So Mitch Rollo gets a good run looking on the inside of Fuller here.
Yeah, I was going to say, Mitch Rollo, he went high and shot to the bottom, and we saw that work earlier a couple times. A couple different drivers took the lead away by doing that, almost using the bank as a slingshot, and it seems to work pretty good. If you run from the bottom all the way to the top and then just really yank it back down to the bottom of the track, down to the white line, you use that. Whoa! And as I'm talking, Mitch Rollo gets it really sideways and saves it. No caution, no harm, no foul. Keep on digging.
Yeah, it's a little bit of momentum lost, unfortunately. I say that'll probably cost him a spot or 2 there. But yeah, so Adam Gillen, though, was able to get around Nick Cohan there, so now put the 81 in the lead here. So now Nick's going to try to regroup and see if maybe he's able to save his tires out a little bit extra over Adam Gillen, but at the same time he's going to have to fend off a charging Justin Fuller here.
And we are coming up on 100 laps complete in this 134 lap event here with the Sim500 League. And Chicagoland is proving to be incredibly racy. Let's put it that way. I'm going to stroll back to the back of the pack here, at least to the middle of the pack, see what's going on a little further back. If you want to keep going with what's going on up front, Gael, I'll see if I can pick up some battles a little further back in the field for us.
Yeah, no, definitely. If you see anything, definitely shout out. Let us know. We'll take a look at there. I'll say, because at this point, yeah, I'll say everybody's right on top of each other here up front. I'll say David Comstock's trying to find a way around Justin Fuller here for the 3rd position. And then you've got Daniel Falkingham running 8th currently. He's working on Chad Cole for the 7th position. And yeah, Mitchell is definitely getting loose here a little bit on the exit of these turns. As I say that, David Comstock looking to the outside of the 51 of Justin Fuller. See if he's going to be able to carry that momentum around the top, as they got some pretty similar green, white, and black cars right there. Oh, Fuller gets loose off of 2, and that's going to let Comstock through there. And DeBarro may try to follow suit as well, entering 3.
And why wouldn't he? I've jumped back to 12th place, and I'm looking at Kevin Brown, Sean Casto, Dwayne Vincent, Nelson Rivera, Nick Silver, Steve Gottschalk, and Brian Chambliss. And those guys are just... they're going at it, man. I mean, they're 2 and 3 wide, and we're talking 12th through 18th, 12th through 20th right now. And it's just, there's as good a racing going on in the middle of the pack as there is all the way at the front of the field. There's nowhere you look that they're not going after it, and it's just a lot of fun to see. And it's also a really good reason to get involved with this series. Like I said, it doesn't matter where you're running with Sim500. You're going to have someone to race with. Chances are you're going to have a pack of cars to race with. And 12th through 20th right now, putting on a show.
Yeah, and I'll say it's kind of a little bit of a hornet's nest with that group, like you're saying. Like I said, I'm kind of bouncing around to see where Adam Gillen's. He's been able to put a bit of a gap there on the rest of the guys. About a 4/10, almost half-second lead now. So say again, not that much of a surprise. Say the races he's been in, he's done well. Like I mentioned again, he's got. Trying to double check here again. Where did it go? He's got 4 wins out of his 11 starts, and then 9 top 5s out of those 11 starts as well. So when he's able to make these races, he usually does well, if not win.
Yeah, I mean, if he can keep it where he's at right now, we're 103 laps complete, working lap 104 right now. If Gilliland can keep that Chevrolet up front and we can get to an interview with him at the end of this thing, it'll be interesting to talk to him about going from 29th all the way up to the front of the field.
Yeah, saying Nick Cohen's got a mirror full of David Comstock here. He's trying to get back around as well, try to make a run for it. See if he can get after him, I say. And then, yeah, DeBarro was able to clear Fuller, so that puts DeBarro up into the 4th position. And then you got Mitch Rollo and Chad Cole in 6th and 7th there. Chad had a bit of a fight there with Daniel Falkingham, but he was finally able to clear him and try to get back now and start running his own pace again. But yeah, I say, like you mentioned, though, right now they're a little bit spread out in the front group. I say I'm going to take a look back like you had mentioned earlier. Yeah, say, as
someone
I say that,
lost it. I don't know who that was, but someone just lost it.
Taking a look here, it was
Justin Fuller?
I think it may have been. Yes, it was Justin Fuller, in fact. In the 51.
Not really sure what happened there. Let's go back and take a look at it.
Oh, something happened to his wheel or something, because wow. Yeah, that's gonna be a pedal or some hardware issue, because just all of a sudden the wheel just cranks left, the tires locked up, and it's almost like, yeah, it's like as if all his pedals just like went full tilt there. So yeah, I was saying, I'm checking the chat there, his wheel just completely shut off on him. So just a hardware issue, unfortunately, on that one. So you could call that a what do you call it, a technical difficulty with
that's a mechanical failure.
Yeah, it's a mechanical failure. So that's gonna bring everybody back to the pits. I do not think you will see any 2-tire strategies here or anybody staying out. And so we got about just under 30 laps to go. So probably about 25 laps or so to go on after this restart here. So we'll do is we'll go corner to corner on this pit stop. Let's say you won't miss the pit stops because we'll have it covered there, and then we'll come back before the green here.
All right, Watson, let's analyze the chemicals in this cigarette smoke. Cadmium?
Check.
Formaldehyde?
Check.
Arsenic?
Sir, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Yeah, isn't arsenic what they use in rat poison?
Oh, what was I thinking, sir? It's not like we're gonna smoke them.
Neither will the rats.
Tobacco is no joke. Cigarette smoke has over 7,000 chemicals. Learn more at thefactsnow.com.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back to the Sim500 here with the Monday Night Transervice Cup Series. As I say, pit stops just cycled through there. David Comstock will inherit the lead after the pit stops. As I say, it's a really tight exit off the pits between himself, Adam Gilliland, and Nick Cohen. And saying that is the order that they are going to come out of the pits. Mitch Rill will be in 4th, followed by Daniel Fockingham in 5th, Chad Cole 6th, Timothy Johnston in 7th, Anthony DeBarro in 8th, Scott Simley in 9th, and Trey Edson rounds out the top 10. So unfortunately what happened to Justin Fuller was he had a wheel failure on him, where basically just brakes locked, gas, basically all the pedals went to the floor, wheel cranked left, and just nothing he could do, unfortunately. But I have to say, everybody around him did a really good job to avoid a car just kind of sitting in the middle of the trial there. So hats off to those guys getting around that one. That could have been really big.
Yeah, that could have been really big. I mean, it's like half the field taken out big, because he was running in, what, 3rd or 4th when that happened? Whole lot of cars behind him had to take evasive maneuvers and did a really good job getting around him there. Looking right now at the top 10, and it basically adds credence to what I was saying earlier about names with inside the top 10 at the end of the race that we haven't talked about at all night long. Falkingham's up there in there now. Falkingham being scored in 5th. Timothy Johnston, 7th. Let's see here. Scott, was it?
Scott Simley, Trey Edson.
It's insane. Trey Edson up in 10th. It's nuts. The beginning of the race and the end of these races, totally different people to talk about.
Yeah, saying they definitely kind of shuffle around there, and saying just again with it going that halfway on green, they did a really good job there. So you're going to have the teammates on the front row, and then you're going to have, I believe, teammates on the top side in 4th and 6th position. So we'll see if they're able to work together and try to work their way forward here on this restart.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun one. I hope that we can see this thing run to the end.
Yeah, that would be really nice to see. It looks like we are going to restart with just about 25 laps to go. So bit of a shootout here. David Comstock's going to lead him to the green. Pace car pulls off. So David's got control of the field. So he's going to wait to go as he jumps onto there, and actually Adam Gillen gets a really nice start on him. That's one of the first times I haven't seen the leader kind of just skip away with the lead there. So we'll see if Adam Gillen's able to do anything on that restart. But as I say that, though, it looks like the bottom line's going to have a really good run there. It looks like Nick Cohen's going to try to squeeze to the bottom of David. Comstock's going to try to force that issue there, try to get to the bottom. So David gets away. Oh, as they touch entering 3. Oh, David's in the wall, and that's going to collect a lot of cars here.
I think that could have been a lot worse than it actually was. But to see Comstock, to see him get taken out like that, that's just never good.
Yeah, so I'll take a look at the replay here. Nick was able to get to the inside of David, and I think what happened, it looks like they just, as David slid up to the top of the track, Nick tried to kind of as well get that angle entering the turn, and just got together, unfortunately. Kind of same thing, kind of going for the same real estate. Maybe Nick assumed that he was going to be a little further up towards the wall. I don't know, but yeah, that's a bad deal there for the 42 of David Comstock. He won't be very happy about that, obviously. So you got a handful of other drivers getting a little bit of damage out of that, including the 82 of Chad Cole. Looks like DeBarro got some damage, as well as Kevin DeBrown. So yeah, it could have been a lot worse, but yeah, it definitely caught up a lot of cars there, unfortunately.
Yeah, and it's just watching it over and over. It looks like the 21, for whatever reason, it looks like the 21 just got really free and jumped up the track into Comstock there, and there was nowhere for David to go. Not really sure whether Cohen was. I don't think Cohen was steering up there. The car just looked like it just went up the track on him.
Yeah, so that definitely won't be one that David's going to be very happy about, unfortunately. But that's going to end his chances at the win here. He's got a lot of damage that he's going to have to try to fix there. And it looks like of the top contenders, though, a lot of them are still looking like they're in pretty good shape. I think the worst of the top 5 to 10 or so is going to be Chad Cole. He's got a fair bit of nose and right front damage on that one. Mitchell looks like he has a little bit of a wrinkle in the right front, but the rest of the top 5 or so are in good shape here.
Yeah, Gilliland's car looks almost brand new. I think Falkingham's got a pretty clean car under him as well. Just looking back through the field a little bit, Scott Simley running back there in 6th. Chad Cole, like you said, he's got a little bit of damage. Started first, running back in 7th right now. Sean Casto inside the top 10. Haven't mentioned him, but maybe once or twice tonight. Started 17th, running 8th. Anthony DeBarro, though, back there in 9th right now.
He's got a lot of nose damage.
Does DeBarro have a lot of damage? I wasn't looking at
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, he's got his car's looking pretty rough. So I'm actually surprised he hasn't pitted here. So I'm thinking at this point he's just hoping the draft's gonna be enough to kind of hold him with the track position. It's like, again, this is one of those ones that track position is so important. But yeah, so you've got looks like David is in the pits, but at this point he's already a lap down. So that's going to be tough for him. And unfortunately, the 91 Steve Goshak, he's had some terrible luck this season. It's going to continue again here at Chicago. His car's got a fair bit of damage, and yeah, so it's going to be a little bit of a different race here at the end. I say up front it's going to be the same, but there's going to be a lot of cars now that are just going to try to salvage a good finish at this point.
Yeah, I mean, with 19 or so to go, when we go back to green, do you come in and see whether you can pull out some of those wrinkles, or do you just stay out there and let it ride? I mean, I think with 19 to go, you kind of have to stay out there, don't you?
Yeah, I think especially if you're in the top 10, you pretty much, you got to stay with it. We'll see if the tires play enough of a role. I think it was maybe too many laps under yellow there. But I'll say that's another potential as well. Well, no, they only ran like really half a lap under green, so never mind on that one. However, if they do, let's say they run 5 or 10 laps and another yellow comes out, that might be where pit strategy comes into play, where it's like, okay, do I stay out? Do I take 2? Do I take none? Take 4. So that could play a role in this one, because I have a feeling we may not be done with the yellows now. So we got halfway without a caution, but then once you get that first one, unfortunately, it kind of snowballs from there. Say lights are off on the pace car, so that's going to have Nick Cohan. He's going to lead the restart here. Adam Gilliland in 2nd. Daniel Falkingham now is up to 3rd. Tim Johnston is in 4th. Mitch Rollo rounds out the top 5.
Yeah, we're going to go back to green with 19 to go, basically. And Nick Cohen sitting up there in first, in the first position right now, has a bunch of folks right behind him that want to figure out how to get by him. And I get the feeling that, Nick can run up front. I've seen him run up front on many occasions, but with 19 to go, I don't think he's going to maintain this lead for too long at the start of this thing. I think you're going to see him get swamped, and then he's going to have to come back through again. But I could be wrong. I've made predictions that are wrong at least 2 or 3 times in my life.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, for me, it's really a plate race at this point, because you just don't know. I mean, because all these guys are so fast and really equal on speed. So his goal here is going to be get a good restart, and hopefully to have those guys behind him fight a little bit. That way maybe he can get that little bit of a gap to help his cause as the pace car's off. So he's got control of the field here. So he gets a good start there. He's actually able to gap everybody. So even the 39, Daniel Falkingham wasn't able to keep up with him there. So that's a really good restart there. And actually Daniel is on the inside of Adam Gillen there. So they'll be fighting for the 2nd position here.
Yeah, that was a crazy jump at the start, but he has absolutely no push, no help right now. And the line of cars behind him is going to swallow him up pretty quick, and they're going to reach him with a lot of momentum. So let's hang back and see what happens here. Gilliland on the outside, Falkingham down low. Falkingham has Mitch Rollo pushing him, Sean Castor right behind Rollo, and it looks like Gilliland getting a little bit of run on the outside now.
Yeah, I got a wreck in the backstretch. Yep, caution came out there, unfortunately, entering the tri-oval there. Take a look here, see who was involved there. Is the 17. Yeah, it's like the 17 of Nick Timms and the 13 of Dwayne Vincent. We'll take a look, see what happened here. It's right off the exit of 3 and 4 in the front stretch on the tri-oval, I should say.
Cautions breed cautions. That is a cliche for a reason.
Yeah, it looks like they just kind of went for a lane change there, and I say unfortunately 17 was there. Maybe didn't realize it was 3 wide. I say, man, Chad Coles got through that with the skin of his teeth on that one. So he barely made it through without getting collected. He almost got hooked in the right rear, which would have pretty much ended his night there.
Yeah, that's when those guys need to have either a long talk with their spotter or possibly find a new one. That got ugly really fast.
So now the question is going to be, does anybody towards the back take a risk and try some tires here? I don't think any of the top 5 or so will, but I think you could see some people try some tires. Again, we've had a lot of caution laps since their last pit stop, but at the same time, there's probably been about 4 or 5 laps of green. And you saw what that did on that green flag run. I mean, they were running a couple tenths of a second faster, so it might be one of those one person does one and everybody plays the opposite game. So you might see a little bit of trickery here going on. So
Then
you
there
got the
goes Sean
52.
Casto throwing
Yeah,
a
it's a
dummy.
lot of fakes. So pretty much just the guys involved in the yellow possibly are going to, say Dwayne Vincent's in, as well as, who was that there? I just lost it.
Casto waited to the
Tommy
last second to
Ryan.
throw that, and no one took the bait.
Yeah, so say pretty much just the guys who had some more damage to repair. It looks like they're the ones that are going to take advantage. You get some more damage fixed, you get some tires on it, because, I mean, who knows at this point? I mean, it looks like maybe about a 10 lap restart or so. Yeah, there's always a good chance of more things happening. They said cautions do breed cautions, unfortunately. I'd say it's going to be a benefit here for Mark Creighton's going to get one of his laps back, and I believe that might put him back on the lead lap here. I'm trying to take a look. I don't know if that put him from 2 down to 1 down, or if he's back on the lead lap now. I'll have to see how that cycles through, but that'd be a really beneficial for him as well. Get him back in the lead lap and have a chance.
He was 2 down, so I think he's getting 1 lap back. I don't think he's getting both, is he?
No, he wouldn't get both. I just wasn't sure if he was 2 down or 1 at that point. Yeah, and it does look like he's still 1 down. However, can put him in position to get one more of those back, and then
you never know.
Lead lap.
You absolutely never know. And it looked like Creighton actually tried to take the back end of Doug's Mustang off. We're going to have a talk with Mark Creighton here and maybe bring him into the hauler and say, hey, man, lay off the pace car.
Yeah, I got to protect our Doug. He means a lot to us. Even if you can drive through his car.
You're never going to find another pace car driver that's as good as Doug. You're just not.
I mean, I can't hold the line or a speed like he can, so...
Nobody can. It's like he's not human.
But he makes it look good doing it. That's right, our producer is saying like he's on rails. But yeah, so anyway, so that's for our top 10 at this point, though. One person you're mentioning the changing group of everybody. So now you've got Daniel Falkingham in 3rd, Adam Gillen still in 2nd, but a new one kind of in the top 10 is Brian Chambliss in the 25 car. He started 33rd. He is now up to the 9th position, and his car looks extremely clean with that Ninja Turtle paint scheme that he's got on there. So again, I mean, you got to be there at the end to have a chance at it. It's like Chris Jabot, he had some troubles early on. He started 37th. He's up to 13th. So I think he had a little damage earlier on, but it looks like he's got it all repaired. So his car's looking really clean as well. And I think, unfortunately, I'm sorry, I need to grab our Justin Fuller. Say he wants to have an interview with us because he was the one that had that that issue earlier with his wheel. So let me see if I can find him real quick. All right, we've caught up with Justin Fuller. Say not the kind of way you wanted to end your race there tonight. Say you had a really good run going, and then looks like you just had some hardware failures.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. You know, it happened to me a couple days ago, and my wheel just shut off on me. So we just changed USB ports. Unfortunately, I didn't shut the engine off in time and blew it up. Fortunately, nobody hit me, even though it was a bunch of people that just, still full throttle through there, didn't even bother lifting, or they'd throttle back up and drive through that. But yeah, it's unfortunate to be the points leader, have a great run like that. I completed every lap this season so far, and to go out like that sucks. But it's been a great race, so I hope the rest of the race goes good.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I would say hopefully you can get those wheel problems resolved, or see if you can bribe that sponsor, get you a little bit more in your piggy bank to go get a new wheel. So I'll let you work on that one.
Yeah, I wonder who the sponsor is that you need to talk to.
I appreciate Sean and all he does for me and sponsors me and all the series here at Sim500. So yeah, with Nemesis Lab, and yep. So good luck and enjoy the rest of the race, guys.
There you have it from Justin Fuller. Unfortunately, had some difficulties earlier in the race. Let's say going green right now, though, with the 21 Nick Cohen is going to control the restart. Say gets another pretty good start. Say apologize for the daughter yell in the background. Let's say gets a pretty good run there. Say Daniel Falkingham, however, is same time, let's say running 2x2 there, entering one, looks like he'll have the momentum on the bottom side now. So now it's just going to be kind of see the same thing where that draft goes. And I think Nick's going to have to protect the bottom a little more aggressively this time as they're a little closer to him on this restart. As they say that he's just hanging kind of that middle bottom line. Going to force them to go high at this point if they want to try to get around him.
Yeah, we're coming up rapidly on 10 to go. These guys, they're already racy. Things are getting ramped up to another level. And I swear during that yellow, did I see a car get spun or spin during the yellow? I swear I did towards the back of the pack.
I thought I saw something too, I'd say, but I was kind of, at that point, I was like fully focused on Justin Fuller's interview. As I say, oh, Nick is able to block the bottom of Adam Gilland. Saying we got some 3 wide right behind them as well. So I say everybody's going after it right now. So now it's going to be kind of not new tires, but it's going to be kind of who's going to protect the top versus the bottom. Where do you need to position yourself? Again, at this point, it's really like a plate race. You just got to try to position yourself to where you think you have the best chance of kind of hanging on to that lead here.
Yeah, Gilliland looked like he was getting a little bit of a run on that high line on Cohen, and he is. Gilliland is actually getting a really good run on the high line. Falkingham can't decide whether to slide him behind Gilliland or slide him behind the Toyota of Cohen. And it looks like Falkingham's going to take the high line. Sean Casto right behind him, running 4th right now. No one can really decide who they want to run with. Who are you going to draft with? You better pick someone soon. And Mitch Rollo all the way down below the white line, and we have caution out again.
So I'm going to take a look back, see what happened here. Looks like it may have been the number 6 of Jonathan Lockhart using the 24th position, I believe, at the time. And it looks like he just got, he caught the wall just barely in the entry of 3, and that just got him really loose. And unfortunately from there, hooked a couple cars and collected them. And so he got a bunch of cars with some pretty decent damage now. So we'll take a look here on the replay. So you take a look here at that number 6 car entering turn 3, just barely tags the wall there. And then just from there, he's kind of a passenger, just trying to hang on to it. And yeah, collects the 17, collects the, let's see, the 99 of Tommy Ryan. I believe there was a few others involved as well. Oh, right there, Mark Creighton, I believe, who just got that, was just at that one lap down position. Say that's not going to help his cause there. So yeah, not what they're looking for. I'm trying to see. I don't think there's too many people with the going for the pit stops here.
Now, while you were recapping that and looking at that replay, I just watched Mitch Rollo. He threw the big dummy going down in the pit lane. No one followed him. He yanked it back up onto the track. We are inside 10 to go right now. Pace car's out, lights are on, so we've got a lap or 2 more of pace laps to go. When we start this thing back up, there'll probably be somewhere around 7 or 8 to go, somewhere in that area, I think. And it's already interesting. It will get interestinger. Can I use that as a word? Did I just created a word for us?
I'll go with it. Oh, yeah, I said I'm going back to that last caution, or during that last caution where someone spun, and yeah, there was. I'm taking a look to see what happened here. Looks like Donnie Lee and the 18 got hooked actually by the 6 of Jonathan Lockhart. Again, apologies for the background noise here.
It's just like you're at the track.
Exactly.
The fans at the track, they're just really into it.
So yeah, so that was what you saw earlier with that car going around. So yeah, this looks like the 6 just hooked the 18. Not sure if there was some drama. Maybe they were texting and driving, which, by the way, we'll mention that later in the race or towards the end of the race afterwards. Don't do that. Wait till you get to your destination. However, pace car lights are still on. Say Adam Gillen was able to clear Nick Cohan, though, so that's going to have him be the leader of the control car for this restart, which is going to be a big benefit for him. I'm pretty sure you'll see him take the bottom side as well. And then Nick's goal is going to be to try to get to that bumper of the 81 as quick as he can, see if he can sneak underneath him to try to take that position back away. You got Daniel Falkingham in 4th. Sean Casto is making a nice progress. Slowly but surely, he's up into the 4th position. Same thing like you mentioned, Trey Edson. We haven't talked about him too much, but he's up to the 5th position. Mitch Rollo is in 6th. Tim Johnston is in 7th. Scott Simley, same thing. He's in 8th position. You haven't mentioned him too much. Brian Chambliss is still able to hold on to that 9th position. And then Anthony DeBarro rounds at the top 10 with that front damaged on that car. I believe Chad Cole may have pitted to make some of that damage repair. No, I think he just lost a lot of positions, actually, now that I'm looking at this stuff. So I think he had something happen to him, unfortunately, during that kind of that cluster of a restart with all these cars.
Yeah, Doug still has the lights on top of that Mustang pace car. It's been interesting to watch them. Every time they come back around and we're looking at pit entry, Sean Casto has gone all the way down to the bottom of the track at pit in every single time they've come by under caution. I think hoping that someone would go down with him, but no one's taking it. Everybody's staying out. We've got, let's see here, we're working lap 128 right now. So are the lights out? Let me check.
Lights
Lights
are
are
out
out,
on
going
Doug, yep.
green this time. And it's going to be a shootout, man. Inside 10 laps, anything goes. And these guys are going after it.
Yeah, so I believe now, say with that new build of iRacing, they do now have green-white checkers again. So, and I believe Sim500 looks like they do have one green-white checker. So, if there is a yellow within 5 to go, it will not end the race. We will still have a chance to finish it out under green. One chance only, though. So these guys have to be a little bit more careful. Say, although with the green-white checker potential, maybe they go that little extra bit.
Yeah, we tried to have a green white checker. Was it last week we tried to have a green white checker, I believe? And the one chance at a green white checker did not work out, and the field was frozen with about 2 laps to go, and that's how we decided our winner last week. So let's hope we can get this thing clean to the end. I'd love to see it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say now pace car's just about to pull off. Doug's gonna let these guys go at it here. Adam Gillen's gonna control this restart. So Nick's gonna try to time it here. He gets a pretty good start, I must say. So usually they're able to just jump and then go after it. I think Nick may be able to get to the bottom here. Yeah, it looks like he's able to drop to the bottom, entering 1. But he's gonna work on trying to get that arc, I believe, in 1 and 2. See if he can get that momentum. But Daniel Falkham's gonna fill that gap extremely quickly. As say, same thing for Sean Casto. He can't quite make it happen though. And man, these guys are right on top of each other. It's gonna get big here in a hurry if they're not too careful.
Yeah, Cohen got a heck of a start. That was as good a start as we've seen all night long, coming off of four there.
Caution again
and
here in the
we
back.
Got another caution. I saw things go crazy, but I couldn't, like, everything started blinking and there was smoke in the air. So not sure who brought that one out.
It looks like the 13 and the 83 got together entering turn 3 is where this yellow came out. So we'll try to pull it up in the replay for you guys.
And that is definitely going to take us inside that green-white checker realm there, because we're working lap 130 right now.
Yeah, so it looks like the 83 of Jason Barham got into the back of the 13 of Dwayne Vincent. I think Chad Cole must have a little bit of engine damage or something like that, because he's definitely not up to speed on the top end. And again, he just narrowly avoids getting clipped by that wreck there again, just by kind of space of a couple feet. So yeah, so I think we're going to see another chance at a green-white checker here. We'll see if they're able to make it happen all the way to the checker or not. I'll say, unfortunately for Nick Cohen, that's now going to bump into the 3rd position, which may not be a bad thing, actually, because now he will be on the inside. And that seemed, I mean, that's how Daniel Falkham was able to get from 3rd to 2nd on this last cycle here. So you never know. 3rd might be better than 2nd on these restarts.
Hard to say. It's going to be a green-white checker, and we'll see where we finish from here. Adam Gilliland, I would say, probably deserves this win, considering where he came from and where he is right now. I say that, and Falkingham running 2nd, starting 31st. Both of those guys, one hell of a run tonight for both of those cars. Right behind them, Nick Cohen started 2nd, running 3rd right now. Going to try to bring this thing home. Sean Casto running 4th. He started 17th. That green car been running well for the last half of the race, and he's been looking really, really good at the bottom of the track. Got a little wear on the tires now, though, so we'll have to see how this thing shakes out. Doug's going to run them around a couple more laps, and then we're going to let them loose for 3 more and see if they can bring it to the end clean. Anyone want to give the over-under on can they run 3 clean laps to bring this thing home under checker?
So I'm sure there's a place in Vegas that'll take that offer on you. But
what's the Vegas line on the getting 3 laps done to end this thing?
I don't think it's going to be too high. However, yeah, so at this point, I think Adam Gillen, I mean, obviously he's going to try to get the best start he can, but I think it seems like you need to protect the bottom. He's had a really fast car, and the other thing we have to be careful for, I think, for these guys is going to be tire spin. Again, I mean, they've had a lot of caution laps, but at the same time, I mean, there is still a fair bit of tire wear with these cars, so you got to be careful not to be able to spin them on the restarts here. Again, I mean, they're a little lower on horsepower as well from this new package that the Cup cars have, but they're still pretty powerful.
Yeah, a little lower on power, but the cars are a lot more lively. So it's I think that's even things out quite a bit. And as I say that, Adam Gilliland driving up there behind Doug, giving him a little love tap. Yes, trying to show that Ford Mustang who's boss with the Camaro. I think is that what that is? Establishing dominance through physical contact. Is that what we're seeing?
Yeah, but Doug's got actual headlights that work, so Adam can't
That's
compete
very
against
true.
that.
That's very true.
But yeah, no, it's gonna be interesting to see what these guys do. I say I'm also, yeah, it's just gonna be see who can work together. I think at this point, like I said, it's almost like a play race where there's gonna need to be a little bit of teamwork, if you will, with just whoever you're around. So whether that's the 39 and the 40, or sorry, the 52 working together or what it may be. So we'll see if there's any pushing going on, some bump drafting, tandem drafting, or anything like that. However, Doug has shut the lights off on the pace car. I say we are at lap 132 of 134. So actually, I don't know if that's going to be... I don't know if we got to the green-white checker or not on this one.
Yeah, we should. We should have. I mean, this... Or have we not?
Yeah, I'm trying to check right here. Man, we might still have one more chance at it, so we'll see. Hopefully they make it to the end
I was going to
regardless.
say, let's just hope we get to the end and see a checkered flag. I really want to see that. I want to see him run clean to the end, and we actually get to see him race all the way to 134 laps. That would be the way that I want to see these things end. 134 laps of really good racing out of the Sim500 group.
So yeah, so we've got the 81 Adam Gilliland is the control car. Next to him is the 39 of Daniel Fockingham. And then row 2, you've got the 21 of Nick Cohan and the 52 of Sean Casto. So those are the top 4 right now. And we'll see how this restart goes. If Daniel's able to get a good jump like Nick was able to kind of hold even with him, or if Nick's going to be able to try to get to the inside of the 39 entering turn 1 here. So you got Adams kind of taking his time. Goes a little bit late, so he still gets a really nice jump. Let's say we're going to see now. Yeah, Daniel can't get to the bottom. He's got the 21 underneath him, but so now it's going to be that same thing we talked about. Are they able to get enough momentum to catch up to that 81 by the entering turn 3? So you got to make sure you don't have too big of a lead. But at this point, I think Adam's looking pretty good there. He's going to protect the bottom. Looks like Nick's going to get to the top side here. Thinking he's going to try to kind of pinch that 81 car down as Mitch Roll is able to get to the bottom as well. Kind of right now running in the 3rd position. Like I said, Nick is right on that quarter panel of the 81. Gets to his outside. He's going to try to squeeze them. And say we've got 3. Oh, we got 1 spinning 52. He might be able to hang on to it here. It's a really nice save by the 52. But man, Adam was able to as Nick gets hooked by the 40. Let's say you got a big wreck going on behind these guys. Let's say I believe we did take the white though, so they're going to race here to the finish. So you got Adam Gillen right now up front. Mitch Roll is going to see if he can make any last-ditch efforts. And then it looks like right now the battle for the 3rd is going to be between Tim Johnson and Brian Chambliss. Coming out of 4, though, it's going to be Adam Gillen taking the win, followed by Mitch Rollo. And then you've got Tim Johnston in 3rd, and Brian Chambliss getting a really nice top 5 effort there. Daniel Fockingham is going to round out the top 5 on this one.
That was a great finish, actually. I'd rather see it finish like that than finish under caution. That was a great race. Mitch Rollo bringing it home in 2nd. Timothy Johnston bringing it home in 3rd. And then Adam Gilliland all the way from 29th to 1st. Hell of a win tonight for that number 81 Camaro.
Yeah, I say, and then also got to mention Brian Chambliss going from 33rd to 4th, Daniel Fockingham 31st to 5th. So those guys did a really nice job there. And I mean, one thing we'd even mention with all that craziness was Nick Cohan. I mean, he's the one that got hooked on the start of that wreck. He hung on to it, and he still wound up finishing 7th after all that. So really good job not wrecking it off of there in 1 and 2, and able to hang on to it and still get a pretty good result. Not what he wanted, of course, but still a really good result. So let's say we'll watch the Adam Gillen celebrate here. Say we're gonna go corner to corner. That way we can get the interviews lined up and get everybody set up here. That way we can get you those interviews. So we'll be back with you shortly.
Watson, let's analyze the chemicals in this cigarette smoke. Cadmium?
Check.
Formaldehyde?
Check.
Arsenic?
Sir, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Yeah, isn't arsenic what they use in rat poison?
Oh, what was I thinking, sir? It's not like we're gonna smoke them.
Neither will the rats.
Tobacco is no joke. Cigarette smoke has over 7,000 chemicals. Learn more at thefactsnow.com.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
We are back at Chicagoland. One heck of a race yet again for the Sim500 Racing League, Monday night money league. And we have caught up with Tim Johnston. We're going to turn it over to Gael and Tim, and just let us know how it feels to bring it home third in all that mayhem.
Yes, I caught up here with number 28 of Timothy Johnston. There's able to get a third place finish in the number 28 Toyota Camry. So it looked like, I was like, nice, clean, and green for that first half, and then just kind of all hell broke loose on that second half. But tell us about your race. How did it feel on your end?
We had a really good car, stayed in the top 10 all race. It was actually hope we had that long green flag run, and we were doing really, really well. And then, yeah, like you guys said, we had a caution and then another one, and then it got pretty chaotic there towards the end.
I say, did you have any kind of strategy towards the end on those restarts, or was it just try to find the best place to try to move forward and also just protect yourself from those kind of, it seemed like just impending cautions that were kind of bound to happen?
Yeah, that's kind of the strategy that I started to go with. I figured we were gonna start having cautions, and so it was just go as hard as you could, get as much as you could, but protect yourself so you didn't fall outside the top 10 either and get freight trained.
All right, well, let's say definitely a good run there, the third place finish. Want to give you an opportunity, though. Any thanks or shout outs you'd like to give?
Yeah, I want to thank RS Customs, my sponsor, Amsoil, USAA, Dizzy Motorsports. Work well with those guys and appreciate everything they do for me, and you guys for doing a great broadcast every week.
I appreciate it. So let's say there you have it from your third place finisher, Timothy Johnson, and the number 28 Toyota Camry there. And saying while we do that, say we're going to work also on getting the top 10 results of this race. Say so. Obviously, winning this race was Adam Gilland, and then second Mitch Rollo. Third was Timothy Johnston. Coming in fourth was Brian Chambliss, and fifth was Daniel Falkingham. Sixth was Scott Simley. Seventh was Nicholas Cohan. Eighth was Michael Keaton. Ninth was Anthony DeBarro, and rounding out the top 10 was the number 18 of Donnie Leah.
All right, we're bringing the second place finisher up into the booth. He's on the mic with us all the time. Mitch Rollo, one of us.
My season's
Mitch Rollo coming up. Gael, take it away. Mitch, congratulations on bringing it home second tonight.
Yeah, I caught up here with the number 96 Sim Speed Shop Ford Mustang of Mitch Rollo. Say up front most of the night, and then of course towards the end things got a little bit chaotic, but you're able to kind of get through the carnage there and still be able to come home with the second place finish there. But take us through your night.
It was pretty crazy right from the drop tonight. The car was a lot of fun. It was slipping around, and I kind of excel with loose setups, so I was excited to start the night. That first run I kind of got caught burning up my tires a little bit on that long run, and then the second long run that we had there before the first caution, I saved my stuff and was able to get out to the lead and had a really fun battle with Comstock there. And then after that first caution came out there, kind of went down to tubes, as you guys know, but it was fun while the green flag running lasted, and we were able to bring it home second tonight. So really good night for the 96 Sim Speed Shop for Mustang.
Did you have any strategy towards the end on those late restarts, or was it just kind of almost like a plate race and just try to position yourself in the best place, or what was kind of your mindset on those last restarts there?
Well, there's not really a lot that we could do strategy-wise except for just hope and pray that we were going to be on the bottom for the restart. The top line was absolutely terrible for restarts, so that was pretty much all you could do is just hope you were going to be on the bottom, and luckily it fell that way on the last restart, and that's really how we were able to bring it home where we did. But obviously, happy with second, but obviously one more position would have been icing on the cake.
Yeah, say a really good run. And saying you never know. Say it seems like the way these setups have been going, maybe they'll get a few more loose ones that'll kind of fit your driving style. But definitely want to give you an opportunity here though for any thanks or shout outs you'd like to give.
Yeah, first of all, Sim Speed Shop, I got to give a huge shout out to them. I haven't had the season that I wanted to I represent them as good as I want to this year, but definitely really thankful for them coming on for the 2019 season. Everyone at Crossover Incorporated, unfortunately Ben had some issues with his simulator. He couldn't load in time tonight. And Chad Cole had a really nice run tonight. Kevin Brown, Jose Gonzalez, all really good guys, and I enjoy racing with them. And you guys at the Sim Racing Network for putting on a broadcast, and everyone at Sim500, all the people that put in time behind the scenes to make this thing go around. It's a really fun place to race. So hopefully we can talk to you guys next week as well at Sonoma.
Sounds good. So there you have it from our second place finisher, the number 96 Sim Speed Shop Ford Mustang of Mitch Rollo. So coming home second place, and I believe Sean Yoder has caught up with our winner in Victory Lane with Adam Gilliland.
Adam Gilliland, do we have you here, man? Do we have you?
I got you.
Awesome. How's it feel coming from 29th to 1st, sir? Talk us through that run. That's a lot of cars to pass, brother. Nice run tonight.
Thank you. Yeah, no, put myself in a hole qualifying back there is definitely a challenge with the aero dependency these cars have to be able to work it up through there. Fortunately, we were able to get a very long green flag run to start that race, so was able to pick off a bulk of the positions before that caution came out, and that was kind of like a nice refresher to get everyone back together and ultimately allow myself to compete for a chance for the win. I don't think without that caution I really would have had a shot because I was kind of a little bit off on the tire strategy. And I wasn't as close to the leaders as I probably needed to be to take advantage of it. So it worked out, though.
Yeah, did you run it? And we were talking about this through the whole race. It seems to be the first half of the race, we have 10 or 12 folks that we're talking about for the first half. And then the second half of these Sim 500 races, all of a sudden there are 10 or 12 new people to talk about. We didn't talk about you a lot for the first half of the race, and all of a sudden, boom, you were there. Did you run a little bit longer than the front runners during the first half on that first pit stop, and that allowed you to run up through a little bit better? What was your pit strategy like, and what did it for you?
Well, I actually short pitted a little bit because
okay,
I came in probably 2 or 3 laps earlier than everyone to try to utilize those tires, and the first few laps were wide open, so you can gain a ton of speed by short pitting. I was able to knock off probably a couple seconds. I was hoping to knock off a little more, but you got a lot of guys that with qualifying being like this and it's flats, it's easy to kind of slip up and maybe not run the right line. It's easy to start in the back, and with all this, like I mentioned earlier, the aero dependency, it's kind of hard to pass right away. So that's why you might see guys, different players at the end of the race because it takes them a little bit longer to move through the field.
Yeah, it was an amazing race tonight. I loved watching you run to the front, man. We'll give you a few minutes here to thank anybody you need to thank for helping you put this win together tonight.
Yeah, just got to thank my sponsor, Gary Mercer Trucking, always supporting me and backing me on this sim. And then everyone at Sim500, it's been a lot of fun this year running this league, and hopefully can keep this going. And last but certainly not least, I want to thank everyone at the Sim Racing Network. I really enjoy these broadcasts every week.
We appreciate you tuning in and watching after you get done running. It's definitely, this new package has changed things up quite a bit, and it's been a lot of fun the last couple of weeks watching you guys run. We're having almost as much fun in the booth as you guys are on track. Congrats again to Adam Gilliland bringing that number 81 car all the way from 29th to the first spot. Ended up on top tonight at Chicagoland in the Sim500 League.
Yeah, say a really good run for him. I saying just want to give a quick points update while we have a moment here before we close for the night. So we actually have a tie for the lead now with the technical issues that Trey Edson was having. We've got now Trey Edson and Justin Fuller is having. Trey Edson and Justin Fuller now are tied for the lead. David Comstock is in the third position, 13 points back, and he's actually as well tied with Daniel Fockingham for that third position. In fifth position is Chad Cole, 15 points out of the lead. And then following him is Tommy Ryan, Adam Gilland. He gains a spot to the 8th position with now 5 wins and 10 top 5s and 10 top 10s out of 12 starts. In 9th is Anthony DeBarro, and rounding out the top 10 in the points is Chad Coleman. So, want to get any last thoughts you have, Sean, before we close it out for the evening?
Yeah, just another exciting event, man. I can't wait for next Monday now, and it just keeps getting better and better. And this new package is really, it's just really ramped the excitement up. And if we're having this much fun in the booth, I hope everybody that's following along and watching these races is having a good time as well. And I know that the drivers in this series are absolutely having a blast with this new car. So I guess if I had to thank anyone, and we get the drivers to thank people, if I had to thank anyone, I'd have to thank iRacing. They put together a hell of a package, and we're seeing some great, great stuff on track as a result.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there. I say these guys have put on a really good show for us to watch here. So yeah, again, want to thank everybody for coming out here to the Monday Night Transervice Sim500 Cup Series. So from everyone here, myself, Sean Yoder joining me in the booth, Aaron Grosskopf getting us the camera angles. I want to thank you all from us here at the Sim Racing Network. So I want everybody have a good night. Remember, put your phone down. It can wait till you get to wherever you're trying to go. And we'll catch you all on the next stream. I think we have is, I believe, on Wednesday with the truck series. So we will catch you then. Have a good night, everybody.